So it's Sunday, so a bunch of people just left. So, well, I know that I had a bunch of stuff to say about the weekend campers. I don't know if people like checked it out and then they went, no one's even booking the stuff though. Well, then that's my bad. I was just talking to Brian about it. I would say this. Apparently, in my area, homeless people aren't paying a camp. So I don't know if they're camping just straight in the woods somewhere and not paying because they can't afford it or they don't want to pay, or they're all in the streets and in the shelters now. Because this campground is the closest campground that homeless people can get to, either from Boston or Quincy, where the homeless shelters are. Right? And homeless people generally don't have cars. In the beginning years, sometimes you did. And if you were homeless and you had a car, why would you just come here for the weekend? Unless that's when you shower and stuff. Maybe you could get that, but why would you pick the weekend though? Right? Yeah, like it's easier to get campsites during the week. So the last place I was at is called Pearl Hill. Right? That place was just about empty. So whatever's going on with camping in the area, it's not really as popular. Except at Harold Parker. Um, from when I looked, they're like completely booked up. Even Massasoit has availability, and that's kind of a small campground. They don't have a lot of campsites. That Nicholson, like I said, has 400 and something campsites. So I don't know what's going on with, unless people agreed not to camp. So this is the second one I've gone to. I know I said I wasn't going to Massasoit. I haven't canceled it yet because I don't want to do things that actually harm me. Right, when you're just pissed. Because I'm still homeless. I have nowhere to go. So if I cancel that campground, I'm on the street those 2 weeks. Right, so I haven't done that yet. So then I could give you a report from there in terms of if you were purposely not camping. You're almost at September 1st anyway, because then that 2-week limit thing is over. But if you were doing it in a protest, that's good. I would thank you kindly very much for doing that. We'll see if it works. I mean, it depends if the people running the parks or Reserve America care. But say it was like a drastic decline from other years, then you go, that's because of the 2-week limit. You need to get rid of the 14-day limit. Right. Unless you have someone who's like rich or something and they book the entire campground for the whole summer or something. And then people are going, what's going on? Nobody can camp. I don't know. Sometimes people do strange things, but if you were doing that in a protest, then I thank you. Yeah. Is it so that homeless people can camp? Yeah, you probably don't care if they pay. If you did that in a protest to get rid of the 2-week limit, you probably don't care if homeless people have to pay, I would think. But yeah, like a reasonable person goes, yeah, wouldn't that like help homelessness at least through the season if these people had a place to just go and then they're not in your back door, as you call it, your backyard, right? They said they were doing it out of fairness, so I don't know if there used to be complaints. Because when I was growing up, I never heard anything about homeless people, I gotta say. And you had homeless people in Los Angeles, I think. You didn't have in Massachusetts. And they didn't have that limit.